Hi, my name's Jenny Sammons, and I am here with Tommie Jane Lane of Thimbles by TJ Lane in her Fairfield home. And I thought I would interview her and ask her a few questions about her business and how she started and anything else that inquiring minds would like to know. Hello, Tommie.
Hello,
Thank you for
Jenny.
being here with me today.
I'm happy to have you here.
So, I guess the first question that I would ask you is, what called you to making thimbles?
I bought a sterling thimble in an antique shop, and the price tag disguised a hole.
Mm-hmm.
I had learned silversmithing techniques a few years earlier at the University of Arizona in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
And so I repaired that hole, and it was such a job, I said, oh, I could have made one easier than repairing this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I calibrated my patterns and started making thimbles one at a time, all by hand at that point.
Okay. So when did you actually decide to make your thimbles into a business? Was it after you designed them, or?
I had been making thimbles and selling them individually, and a group in Arizona, a thimble collecting group, asked me to make an edition for them. One thimble design, and they wanted quite a number of them. And so I made the model, had a rubber mold made from it, and cast their thimbles in sterling silver.
And so that's how you started your line of thimbles?
That was the beginning of my thimble business.
Yeah. Will you tell us a little bit about the styles and varieties of thimbles that you make and how it's sort of evolved?
The styles and varieties of my thimbles has come very largely due to requests from customers. In the beginning, I was making thimbles with closed tops, and then ladies with long fingernails wanted their thimbles with an opening in them, and I started making thimbles with an opening for the fingernail.
Yeah, so you've been doing this for a while. How long have you been at this profession?
I've been making thimbles for almost 50 years.
Wow. And so you don't just make thimbles, though. You also make other items like...
Yes.
Yeah.
I make chatelaines and needle keepers and thread cutters and thread winders and a great many other sewing tools.
So what is a chatelaine?
A chatelaine originally was worn at the waist of the lady of the house, and from it hung keys and other tools, including often a thimble. And I make chatelaines that can be worn at the waist, but most of my chatelaines are worn on a neck chain like the one I'm wearing.
So can you talk about maybe some of the mentors you had along the way and some people who inspired you as you were growing your business? And
Yes. The name of my teacher who taught me metalworking was Barker. And I used my daughter's accounting books to learn a little bit about how to keep accounts of my business.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend named Rita who was very helpful in having me set up a ledger system.
Mm. Yeah, so those are all really important aspects to business and making it work. And I know that you're also really focused on customer service. That's one of the things I really admire about you and the way you do business. So for your customers who are watching, could you tell them just a little bit about what you, like some of your values as in terms of customer service?
I think the most important aspect of customer service is, number one, getting a thimble to fit the customer's finger.
Mm-hmm.
And the second most important is when that little steel needle wears a hole through the sterling silver thimble, I repair it without charge, asking only they pay return shipping and insurance.
Mm-hmm. That's really great. Yeah. So for anyone who was coming along who wanted to go into making jewelry or starting a business or even working in the quilt industry, what advice would you give to them?
Take a class. Go to your university, your community college, or research people who are in the business and take a class. Many quilt shops offer classes
Mm-hmm.
in how to make quilts and select fabrics and put them all together.
Mm-hmm. So where do you see the Thimbles by TJ Lane going in the future?
All the way.
All the way? Yeah. So, well, I'm Tommie's studio assistant, and we both live here in Fairfield, Iowa, in this house where you're watching us now. And I'm really learning a lot of valuable skills by just sitting at your feet and having you teach me everything you know. And yeah, it's really whatever I can do to make your baby, this business, be honored. And you're not going anywhere anytime soon, so we're not thinking about that. But you might get tired of making thimbles at some point, and hopefully.
I seriously doubt I'll ever get tired of making thimbles and jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much, I say people pay me to play.
Yeah.
And so I play.
Yeah. And that's kind of what makes it fun for you and has kind of driven you this whole time, right? Because it's fun.
It is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing the work. I love interacting with the people. And I enjoy the monetary benefits of
Mm-hmm.
making a product that sells internationally.
Mm-hmm. So where have all the places, I know you've lived all over the country and you've moved your studio all over the country, but you're originally from Arizona, is that right?
Actually, I was born in New Mexico and moved to Arizona when I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived there until 1998. Moved to North Carolina, lived there 11 years. Moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, lived there 2 years. And I've been 5 years in Fairfield, Iowa.
Mm-hmm. And you have a daughter in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's also worked for Thimbles by T.J. Lane and has...
Yes, she actually ran the business, she and her husband, for 5 years, and then returned the business to me in 2010.
So I think those are all the questions I have. I have one more question for you. So what do you call a tuna that has two knees? Oh, I messed up the joke. What do you call a fish that has two knees?
A tuna fish.
Two-knee fish. Dang. Oh, well. That one bombed. Well, thank you, Tommie, for taking the time out of your day to talk to me a little bit and to make this video. And I hope all the customers out there and friends of Thimbles by T.J. Lane watching have enjoyed this video. And as Tommie likes to say, bye for now.
So true.